grab this, wrap it around your waist. In this video, what I'm doing for y'all today is I'm going to go over a boat here. It's the Crescent Kayaks Shoalie SF, and wow, what a boat this thing is. What a perfect fishing kayak this thing has been. I'm not going to go over all of the features because there is a ton of features, and I had to dedicate an entire video in and of itself just to break down all of the features on this boat. And today I'm not fishing. I'm just coming out to show you guys, because if I had fishing rods with me, that's all I'd want to do. I'm just going to paddle around and I'm going to show you guys on how well this thing paddles on flat water. And I know it's been kind of like pigeonholed as a river kayak, and it's been kind of marketed that way. And I've seen a lot of reviews of people, everyone's taking it down rivers. And could I take it down a class 3? I could probably take this thing down a class 3 or 4 river, honestly, with my whitewater paddling. But I didn't want to show you guys that. I actually like this boat as a pond/lake style fishing boat, because I think the Shoalie is a good hybrid. I've got chapters down here where I'll break down kind of like some of the features of the boat, kind of like my opinion of stability, you know, tracking, speed. I kind of broke it down. So check the chapters below and scrub through the timeline, and you can kind of see like what I'm talking about on each one. Or just go and hear my final thoughts on the boat and what I liked and didn't like about it. You can do that now. So yeah, let's get to reviewing. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to go over with is overall quality. Boat is absolutely amazing. Crescent has some of the best quality kayaks out there on the market, so it's a very premium feeling product. Love the color, all the fit and finish of the boat, the assembly, everything is very like clean and polished. So one thing that they do really well is it's a premium boat. You don't feel like you've got like a cheap kayak. Yeah, and everything on it functions really well. You can see how I have the bags mounted back here with the cam straps. You've got a hatch there. I'm not going to go a lot on the features, but I'm just going to kind of show you guys real quick on how well they function. Functionality, I think it's an amazing fishing kayak. You can deck this thing out in so many ways. It just feels really premium on the water. All right, I'm just going to paddle down here and I'm going to turn. Let's get rid of this stupid leaf that gets on my nerves. Now I'm going to turn it, and when I'm turning, I'm just leaning a little bit in the direction that I want to, like away from where I want to turn, because with the turning in a boat like this, you want to get over on this edge, and then it releases this edge so it'll turn. So watch what I'm doing here, and it's just like I'm leaning over, and as I'm taking a stroke, I'm leaning over and I'm getting a quick turn, and then now that I'm in the direction I want to go, I just start paddling forward. And turning radius on this is absolutely phenomenal for a fishing kayak. I've paddled a lot of fishing kayaks, and very seldom do some of them turn this smooth. Look how quickly I can turn this. And I want to just go in a straight line. Watch how well this thing tracks. So tracking, for people that don't know, is like how straight a kayak stays. Look at that. I stop paddling, this thing just stays straight. It will eventually start drifting left or right, whichever way. Usually you can compensate it slightly by leaning and get on the rails. Now see, if it was more whitewater oriented, so a more whitewater boat will have the ends, what they call rocker, will be lifted up, and it doesn't track as well. And when I first seen this boat, I was like, it doesn't have a lot of rocker in the ends. So you can see how quickly I can get this thing up to speed. Now obviously it's not like a super like full-on lake kayak. It is a hybrid between a lake and a river kayak, but it's not just a river kayak in my opinion. Like with speed, when you put like some real power behind it, it gets up, but you can feel the front where that bulbous nose is. You can feel it, the water piling up there. So it's not going to be a super fast kayak, but watch how well, and the way you would make this boat even faster is to bring that bulbous nose in and make more of a tight keel up there. This one's made for punching over small waves and holes, but so impressed on how well this thing handles in flat water. Stability, I'm leaning way over, probably, you know, I have a good brace, so I'm not that concerned about flipping, but I'm leaning over, and this thing is super stable in the water because it's a wide platform and it's not high on the edges. Say like the CK1 had, the edge down here was very high up. This is a flatter edge, so it has a really good initial stability to it. And I'll stand up for you guys. So standing up, I don't feel the least bit nervous standing up in this boat. You can see I can kind of rock it from side to side, and I definitely don't want to fall in the water today. I have never flipped this thing, and I have never fell out of it. So, you know, maybe I've been lucky, maybe I'm just that good. I don't know, you guys decide. So paddling standing, I like paddling this thing standing. It almost paddles as good as a paddle board, honestly. When I'm paddling it standing like this, you know, I can get it going pretty good. Set back down, and I do have the seat in the low position because I'm out here paddling today. You can go to the high position pretty easy, but check it out. You want me to go to the high position? Look how easy you can go to the high position. All you do, this is on water, so I loosen that up. I've got a nice little mount there. There you go. And then tighten it back up. Slide that in. I'm in the high position now. Now, this is awesome. That works extremely well, by the way. I love that, because even like if I had a fishing rod with me and I wanted to stand up, even like standing and I had a fishing rod, I can cast and my paddle's like right there. And I could tie one off, or if I caught a fish, I could reel it in and my paddle's kind of like right there. So there you are. I'm in the high position now, and it's notably higher. You can really feel how it changed the boat. So now that I'm in the high position, I can just stand, lean forward a little bit, and I stand right up. Standing up and down, seat adjustment, absolutely amazing. Crescent did something really cool. They don't have it resting on the deck of the boat. It actually goes inside the deck of the boat, so it gives you an even more in-tune feel. That is something I've never seen on a kayak. I love how Crescent goes down because it lets you sit even lower, and you're almost sitting on the deck of the boat, which gives you this really nice paddling posture when you're in the low position. And then when I'm in the high position, a lot of times I'll just rest my feet right here instead of like down there. It definitely feels a little more tippier, but the stability's so good on this boat, I'm not really concerned. Let's go back to the low position, and to go back, put my paddle there. Back in the low position. There you go. That was pretty easy. So now my paddle's in a paddle park, and I want to access the hatch up here. I can do this on the water. If I need to get something out of this hatch, you can see I can open that hatch, get whatever I need out of it, close it back up, and I'm good to go. This is on the water too, so what this is also a paddle park, and it's for rods. So if I want to put like fishing rods, slide them up in there, it's for that too. So something else that maybe not a lot of people talk about with a boat like this is stealth. How stealthy is this? Overall, you know, this is a fishing kayak, so we don't need a lot of noise. And I don't know if you guys have paddled a boat before and you hear this thump sound while you're paddling, or you hear this cavitation through the scupper holes or on the hull of the boat. Say you've got a transducer and you got this, it's got this, you'll hear this cavitation out of your hull. Let's check this out. One thing that I had noticed when I first paddled this, it is silent. Listen to this boat while it's in the water. So what, I don't know how well you can hear it in the camera, but listen when I stop paddling. Let me know if you hear any. I'm still in motion. Deadly silent. And it's got to be because of those ridges in the hull. They have this rigid lines in the hull, and I think water is flowing smoothly through those, and the scuppers or come off clean, and that transducer mount comes out clean, so there's no cavitation, and it doesn't have this poppy sound because of the fact that you don't have this hard keel line up there, or you don't have a high rocker in the bow, so you don't have that popping sound in the front of the boat. There is zero sound. How the heck did Crescent accomplish that? I have paddled a lot of different fishing kayaks, and usually there'll be some sort of like hull noise, which will drive me insane, especially when you're trying to be quiet. Say I'm trying to get up into this little cove back here, and I don't want to make a lot of noise. I can hear everything. Really good job on that, on the noise factor, which is something that, you know, not many people talk about. One thing is, it doesn't get pushed around by the wind, like because the edges are low out here, the wind doesn't get up under it and push it around. So on a nice windy day, I think this thing stays rock steady in the middle of the lake. So there you go, everybody. That's the full-on kind of like on-water review of the Crescent Shoalie on flat water like this. You can kind of see, well, let's lower these down just a little bit, get a better paddling posture. I like to have a nice posture like that. I know it's a river kayak, but where I've used this the most is out here on stuff like this. I've caught more fish and been out more in it on lakes than I have on the actual river. I just kind of want to give some of my thoughts on it. What I thought it did well, I thought stability, tracking, and silence is one of its best features as far as being on flat water. I'm only covering on flat water today, but where it kind of holds up a little bit, even though it does track well, it feels like it piles a little bit in that front. It doesn't come off that bulbous area up there. So that's where I could see it kind of falling back. But then that's kind of also a pro of this boat, is the fact that when you're on water, moving that bow around, it doesn't get like smashed and pushed and grabbed up there. So is this a good wreck boat? I think yes, and maybe it's a little overkill for a wreck style boat. It is a fishing setup, but it's more the features on this boat that make it a really good fishing boat. Really good, like, premium fishing kayak, because this is a tournament, and I know like Drew Gregory and a few others have been using it as their tournament boat. You guys leave in the comments below what your opinion is on the Crescent Kayaks Shoalie, and like how many times have you used it on the river, and how many times have you used it on the lake. That's all I got today, everybody, on the Crescent Kayaks Shoalie. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Woohoo!